Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Shakur, and this is your Sunday morning wake up call. So, as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Shakur. You can also follow the Queen Shakur fan page on Instagram and Twitter, and you can follow the Queen on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right. Mr. Hotel said, here she is, the undisputed queen of YouTube, along with the most nefarious chat in the land. Absolutely. All right. Okay. Hello, Lee, Sweet Pea, Andrea. Rodney is in the house. Okay. Jacqueline, 444 watching me. Ariana, Stacy. I see you, Robert Bass, Mr. X005, Just Biz, Miss Patty 210, Yusuf. Okay, I see you, beloved. Okay, we got Rodney, Lillian, Vince I am from the UK, James, Marcy, Capricornus, Jeff, Stephen, Glamour Diva, T in the Teal Kitchen with Yusuf. All right, beloved, Juju. A spirit goddess. Let's get into it. Silent D. Shout out to my moderators. We got BGR headquarters. All right. So let's get into it, beloved. Let's get into it because here's the thing. I want to talk to you all about these Saturday Night Live activists. These activists who will say some things that sound beneficial to Black folk. These activists who will even every now and then do some things that are beneficial to Black folk. But in reality, they don't care anything about Black folk. And I've been exposing them the entire time that I've been on YouTube. Now, I want y'all to pay attention because I'm going to take you back in history. I'm going to show y'all some receipts, because recently I have told you all some of the things that I have done. But many of you who started following me, this year or whenever I got this channel back, because let's not forget, this channel was terminated for 8 months after I'd only been on ScrewTube for about 6 months. I think that says a lot because I obviously had such a huge impact in such a small amount of time. Okay? Because I don't see certain people getting their channels banned, terminated, demonetized. I don't see any of that from a lot of people who say they're so-called activists and all that. But so let's talk about it. Because here's the thing. I'm going to show some receipts in just a minute. But the main thing I want to talk about is this. There are some people that pretend to be so hardcore, pro-Black and revolutionary and all of that. And they are absolutely fake and fraudulent. One of them is Talcum X. Talcum X, and I want you to pay attention because though many Black people are fooled by Talcum X, the Queen is not. And anyone who's a real pro-Black revolutionary and real activist, they're not fooled by him either. So that means they won't be following him on his social media platforms. That means they won't be caping and capping for him. And if they are, then that should tell you a lot about them because at the end of the day, birds of a feather. Now, Talcum X, another person that I exposed. I want you to pay attention. Okay. He sat there and remember he was collecting all these funds and this and that, trying to keep his $800,000+ house. And then just a couple of weeks ago, as you recall, let's get into it. He spent $40,000 on a dog. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with buying a dog, but $40,000 on a dog, but you're supposed to be helping us with the movement. I'm just saying, make it all make sense because I don't see how it does. So let's get into it. BLM activist Sean King used donor cash to purchase a $40,000 dog. This is what he did. He used donor cash, money that you all, some of you, other Black people donated to him. He used it to buy a dog that costs $40,000. Now, I want to know what y'all think about that. Stacy said a dog, really? Mr. Hotel said, wasn't Talcum X? Hold on, let me scroll up. Wasn't the talcum powder recalled? I'm just saying, yes, it was, beloved. Yes, he spent $40,000 on a dog. Now, y'all didn't know that. This was money that Black folk contributed to him, so let's get into it. Because let me tell y'all something. I want y'all to also pay attention to how some people who say they're pro-Black and revolutionaries, but they absolutely condone, co-sign, and cape for people who are committing fraud amongst us. They will sit there and throw subliminals at the real revolutionaries like the Queen, honey. That's what they'll do. But they'll call out the people that they have a beef with that they don't like. But when you start going in and exposing someone who they're cool with, and now they want to try to throw jabs at you. But I want y'all to pay attention. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, one of these fake agents, one of these controlled oppositionists, no matter what these frauds say about the queen, they can't call me any of what they are. The only thing they come back with, I want you to pay attention, beloveds. The only thing that they ever say is that I'm a hater. And isn't that what people often say when you criticize and critique them? Isn't that the first thing they do when they can't dispel, disprove, or debunk what you said when you have those receipts on them? Isn't that what they often say, that you're a hater? And isn't that what their minions also say, that you're a hater? But what they can't do, them or their minions, they can't come back and disprove, debunk, or refute anything that I've said with other facts and receipts. That's what they can't do. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Talcum first, and I'm going to go down the line. Okay, I'm going to go down the line. Check this out. Controversial Black Lives Matter activist Shaun King's political PAC used donor cash to purchase a $40,000 dog that he used as a family pet, according to reports. Yes, pay attention. It's all true. It is all true. I'm going to keep exposing these people. I don't care who's mad. I don't care how many subscribers they have, how many sponsors they have, how many agents they have trying to paint narratives for them. I don't care how many threats I receive. I'm still going to do it. They can't stop the queen. Pay attention. Now, King's PAC, Grassroots Law, has handed over the sum and a pair of payments to Potrero Performance Dogs in California since December, the Washington Free Beacon reports. Now, the PAC paid Potrero $10,000 in December, followed by a $30,650 payment in February. Now, days after the second payment, King posted on Facebook about welcoming a new member to the King family, a mastiff and prized show dog named Mark. Have y'all heard enough? I think that pretty much tells us all we need to know about Talcum X. Okay, that pretty much tells us everything we need to know. Let me pull up my screen so you all can see the headline. I absolutely cannot. Now, I want y'all to pay attention to something, because here's the thing. You see that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so here's what I want you to ask yourselves. This is what I want you to ask yourselves. These people who want to call the queen a hater for exposing frauds and scammers, these people who want to throw subliminals at the queen, y'all need to wonder and ask yourselves, how come they're not going in on Shaun King, Talcum X, for spending $40,000 of Black folks' money that they contributed to him to fight against racism and wanton supremacy? Why don't y'all ask them, or ask yourselves, why aren't they going in on him? That's what I'd like to know. I'm out here putting in real work, okay? Don't think I'm distracted because I go in on certain folk, because I'm never distracted. I don't have a one-track mind, but let's get into it. Now, not alone from that, I'm about to pull up an old video that I did, because I want to let you all know the impact that I have. I want to let you all know the impact that I actually have. Even though I'm not one of the biggest YouTubers, I don't have one of the largest platforms. My channel's not even monetized, but I want you all to pay attention to the impact that I have. Let me show you something. Pay attention. Now, this is a video that I did February the 22nd of 2021. And then I'm going to show you what happened days later. Let's get into it. Because they can call me a hater all they want, but at the end of the day, what they can't do is deny the fact that I bring receipts and that I'm making an impact. Pay attention. Now, here we go. Y'all see that? That's a video that I did on my Authentic Black Goddess TV, where I exposed, hold on. Robin says, Queen, I think we're going to have to hire you a bodyguard now. Oh, absolutely. I will be having security. Pay attention, beloveds. I absolutely will. Now, I want y'all to pay attention. Now, this is a video that I did on Authentic Black Goddess TV, one of my backup channels, February the 22nd of 2021. I was exposing Black lives. I told some of you this, told you all this before, but some of you weren't following me when this happened, when I did this story. All right. Now, I did it on Authentic Black Goddess because the channel that we're currently on right now, this channel was terminated after I'd been on ScrewTube for a period of 6 months. Pay attention. And so let's get into these receipts that I showed. And then I'm going to tell you, as I said, what happened just a few days later. And all this, that, and third. Okay, so if you look over here in the corner on my right-hand side, it says donate. Now I'm going to click on this donate button. And as I click on it, it goes to another page that says charities, Black Lives Matter, urgent, fund the movement. Okay? So now let me say this for those of you who don't know. The reason I did this video is because I was exposing what Black Lives Matter actually does with Black folks' money that they contribute and donate to them for the movement. Okay? This is what they do. And I wanted to prove this to everyone. That's why I pulled this up. That's why I exposed them in 2021. So pay attention. Now I'm going to scroll down, and you can see there's places where you can donate. It tells you how much you can give, 25 to 1,000, whatever you want to give. I'm going to scroll on down to where it says continue with your debit or credit. When you get down here, it gives you the contribution rules. And as you look through the contribution rules, you'll see different things on here, but you'll see something that says Act Blue. It says contact Act Blue, that's ACTBLUE, Act Blue Charities. Okay, Act Blue, that sounds like Blue Lives Matter, maybe, or it sounds like something pertaining to the Democrats because their colors are blue, right? Act Blue. Okay, well, let's find out what that is. So after you go to Google, and I'm going to share that screen with you in just a moment. You go to Google and you type in Act Blue. And then it shows up on Wikipedia. Okay, now let me switch screens. Okay, you see I'm on Wikipedia, right? Act Blue. Now let me tell you what this is. It is an American nonprofit technology organization established in June 2004 that enables left-leaning nonprofits, Democratic candidates, and progressive groups to raise money for individual donors on the internet by providing them with online fundraising software. Okay, its stated mission is to empower small donors. If you go down to the bottom where it says Act Blue activities. Okay, if you go down to where it says activities, it says Act Blue does not endorse individual candidates. That's what it says. But however, it does allow you to donate to candidates, right? i.e. the Democrats. And if you go over here to the right, to my right, there's a box that says Act Blue in bold blue letters. And if you read, it says it was formed in 17 years ago in 2004. What type? It's a nonprofit political action committee. A political action committee. Doesn't say anything about Black lives. It says political. Pay attention. And then as you go down further, it tells you the location, the executive director, affiliations. Under affiliations, it says Democratic Party. That's what it says. Democratic Party. Okay, you see that? I'm showing you the information for yourself so you can see that, but hold on because there is clearly more. So now we're going to backtrack out of this. Hold on just a second. I'm going to open another tab, and then I'm going to share screen with you as well. Let me clear this off the screen. Now, so I'm going to open another tab, go to Google, and I'm going to type in expenditures. Cycle 2020 is the one I'm going to go to because clearly they likely don't have one for 2021 yet because we're just getting into 2021. So I'm going to go to Act Blue Expenditure Cycle 2020. And that's on a site called opensecrets.com or .org. Now I'm going to share the screen so you can see this as well because you need to see this all for yourself because I don't want ScrewTube or anybody talking about, oh, conspiracy theories and this, that, and the third. I'm just showing you what it says on their sites. All right? What it says on their own site. This is where I got this from. Now, here we go. This is the site called opensecrets.org, right? Center for Responsive Politics. They're always talking about politics, nothing about Black lives. Please pay attention. RG3 says, Shalom, Queen Amadai, always on fire. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so now I'm going to scroll down. You see right here it says expenditures 2020. Let me zoom in. See there right there, expenditures 2020 on the left, on my left. Now I'm going to scroll down some more. You're going to see something says description. I'm going down some more. Fundraising. Vendors. This is what we want right here, people. We want to know who are the top vendors, right? Top vendors. It says Biden for president. That's right. At the top, the number one vendor is Biden. I hope you all can see that. Let me click on it. You should be able to see this now. Vendor, recipient, Biden for president. Okay. Total reported payments. This is what you need to see. The total reported payments for the 2020 cycle are $826,450. Biden. Okay? Pay attention. Now, let's go back. Under Biden, who does it have next as the second top vendor? It has Bernie Sanders, another Democrat. Let's click on that. It says vendors, Bernie 2020. Total reported payments 2020 cycle is $199,504,160. Then next it has friends of Bernie Sanders. Okay? Under that it has the engine. This is what it says about Act Blue. Now, so what do you all think about that? But hold on. Let's type in on Google Act Blue and see if George Soros' name comes up. I'm going to type in Act Blue and George Soros and see what I find. Act Blue / Soros Complex Human Events. Now, I'm going to share my screen again so you can see this because you know it has long been rumored that George Soros funds Black Lives Matter. Now, I'm not saying that he does fund it. I'm just saying that's what the rumors have been. Okay? And so I'm going to go on this about Act Blue. Act Blue, if you can see that, let me zoom in. It clearly says Act Blue Soros Complex. Okay? This is dated July the 7th of 2009. Okay? It says, in an era where the most vehement proponents of big government happen to be the most politically active billionaires, it's not surprising that the Democracy Alliance, a collaborative of liberal donors led by George Soros, Peter B. Lewis, has set out to pile funds into the liberty. The tactics of Soros, his constituents, investors, and foundations are revealed easily and in considerable detail by an examination of the seemingly grassroots groups that this very non-grassroots collections of billionaires and bureaucrats fund. All right? So, yeah, saw that for yourself, right? But hold on, because you know how so many people were talking trash and saying that I was promoting Trump and saying that anybody who went against Biden was promoting Trump. Isn't that what they called us? Trump support. The only thing we were saying is this: if you have Trump being racist, and if you think Trump's not doing anything for Black, well, why do you think Biden is not racist, and why do you think he is doing something? But I want you to pay attention to something, because Trump's been saying a lot of things that are true, and if you don't think that's why he's been demonized and
fight. Let me tell you something about Trump being racist. They're racist.
Okay, so y'all heard that, right? So my point is this. Nobody called me a hater when I exposed that. But hold on, because here's where it gets juicy. Pay attention while I pull up this other receipt. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Like and share. Now, so I did that video, as I told you guys, on February the 22nd of 2021. And here's what I want to let you know what happened days later. You see, I don't have to make videos talking about people blocking me from their channels, because that's all a clout chase. That has absolutely nothing to do with the fight for revolution or for liberation, for us to get reparations. People doing videos saying that so-called plantation mammies and pappies have blocked them. What is that doing besides nothing? But I want you to pay attention to this. I'm just saying, because some people would call the queen hater. Pay attention. Here's the thing. I may not have as big a platform as some, but I'm clearly making more of an impact than some. Because here's what happened just a few days later. All right, pay attention. I'm going to share my screen again. Y'all see that, right? Now, y'all see the title of this video that I did? It's called After I Put BLM on Blast for Funding the Democrats. They start explaining how they got all that Skrilla. This was only 4 days later. As you can see the date, February the 26th of 2021, just 4 days after I exposed that. So let me say this. ScrewTube has me shadow banned, so they know the true accurate number of my subscribers, nor the true accurate number of the views on my videos. Pay attention, honey. So with that all being said, if I were not making an impact, why did the lamestream come out and mimic my talking points and try to expose this after I already did it? And that's not the first time this has happened, just so you know. But let's get into it.
Now, like I said, there's several of these articles. I'm going to Google a couple more. Okay, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation reached over $90 million in donations in 2020. And this is according to the Associated Press. Now, last year, the foundation granted $21.7 million to Black Lives Matter chapters and 30 local organizations. It accrued $8.4 million in expenses, ending the year with a balance of $60 million. The foundation also announced today that it would be assisting people with financial needs during the COVID-19. Oh, so now they want to give to charity. Oh, charity, okay. Through a $3 million financial relief fund to the Associated Press. It's the first time the organization has chosen to reveal a detailed account of its funding. It's nearly 8-year history. Now, do y'all want to wonder why they are giving these details after us? Clearly because Queen put them on blast. Clearly because I exposed them. Now they want to explain. Yes, absolutely. Now, this was 3 days ago that I posted this video, mind you. And like I said it to 2 very well-known Democrats. Now, they start the mayo explaining. Let me read that part again. It's the first time the organization has chosen to reveal a detailed account of its funding in its nearly 8-year history.
Now, y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Someone says you are breaking up badly. There is a lot of freezing. Don't worry, beloveds, because I'm going to put the links to those videos in the chat. Okay, I'm going to put the links to those videos in the chat. Pay attention. All right. So, yes. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. Thank you, beloved. Now, let me ask y'all this. So, with that all being said, is it still freezing, beloved? Let me know if it's still freezing. Okay, that just proves my point. I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention. Hold on. Okay, so with that all being said, y'all catch my drift, y'all see my point. Now, I'm going to put those links in the chat. Okay, some people say it was blurry and choppy. Well, you already know what that is, right? And let me tell y'all something. That's how you should know that I'm making an impact. Okay, I'm making an impact. Why do y'all think my channel has interference? Okay, still freezing. Really, that's interesting. Hold on. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to refresh the page. Hold on. Okay, now let me see how that is. Okay, so now, can you all hear me now? Can you all see? Hold on, I'm gonna check it on my I'm gonna check it on my on my phone. Hold on. Okay, so you all can hear me now, right? Okay, so some of y'all said it's choppy, some of y'all said it's a little better. I just want y'all to pay attention. Because the fact that it's doing this just further proves my point. Okay, this just further proves my point. And so, okay, thank you, beloved. So that just further proves my point. Now I'm going to share okay, great. I'm going to share the links to those videos, to both of those videos, with me exposing them and them explaining days later. I'm going to share those in the chat so you all can watch them in its entirety. All right. There's the one where they try to explain days later. And then here's the one where I expose them. Let me put this in the chat real quick. So there's the videos, both of those full videos. Okay, so like I said, that further proves my point. And so, but let me continue. Now, I already exposed Sean King of Black Lives Matter, Patrice Concullers, right? Young Pharaoh. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about Young Pharaoh because I'm going to share my screen again. Now, everyone, please like and share. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about Young Pharaoh, another person I exposed. I exposed him actually before this. I actually exposed him first around 2018 on Facebook. Before
I first heard of him, and I wasn't on YouTube. I was on Facebook at the time. He had a page, a GoFundMe with Sandra Bland's name on it, right? Yeah, after Sandra Bland died, he had a whole page up with Sandra Bland's name on it, as if he's collecting money because of Sandra Bland. And then his Facebook page was named Sandra Bland. And Sandra Bland's mother reached out to him and said, "Are you collecting money in my daughter's name?" And he lied and said no, but he was. Oh, yes, he was. Now, hold on, because I'm going to show these receipts. I'm going to show these receipts because I don't want none of his little trolls in here, right? Like I said, Pharaoh made it. get to bleaching right now. I hope he gets sunburned. Oda said, Fox News Pharaoh. Hold on. Let me up this receipt. I don't even know where to start. I think I'm going to start right here. Hold on. I'm going to start right here with the legalities. Because here's something I want to tell you guys. He's been scamming in the conscious community for a long time. You see, he first came onto the scene talking about he was trying to open up daycares all throughout the country. All over the country. He wanted to open up a chain of cares for black women. Stop you, quit your job to come work for him, he said. But you're a whole felon. Now, can felons open daycares? I know there's specific crimes that you can commit that would prohibit you from being able to open a daycare, right? But I wouldn't think that a convicted felon can open up a whole chain of daycares. That's just not what I would think. And then he started collecting money. He told everybody that he needed money for his legal defense because they tried to put him back in prison or something like that, right? When he was on parole. But then somebody legal aid office, because he had legal aid. Legal aid is for states. So you don't have to give them any money. And guess what? The man who spoke to them on the phone, because we have the audio of that too, in case you're wondering. YK The Truth has the audio of the man speaking and saying they don't take money, they're paid by the states. So the lies continue. The lies continue. Hold on. Let me get this receipt. Everyone, please like and share the video. Everyone, please like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Okay? And shout out also to the elder, Shakur. Because he exposed him a long time too. All right? He exposed him a long time too. And in fact, the information that I got of him saying black women are the devil, I got that from the elder, Shakur. All right? So hold on, let me pull this up. I'm going to start right here.
Let me repeat that. No one would even know of a young pharaoh, aka young pseudo, if it wasn't for the death of Sandra Bland. I'm going to tell you why. So this idiot created a Facebook page, and he named the Facebook page Sandra Bland. This is what he did. So basically, if anyone was looking for Sandra Bland on Facebook, they would run into his Facebook page. So this is how he went viral.
Started off as a Facebook argument. I made a video on Facebook arguing with some Christians on my staff. I made that video, 70,000 views in 3 days.
It was because of Sandra Bland. So you owe Sandra Bland's family some money. Not only that, look about how you used Sandra Bland's name to start a daycare, to go fund me for daycare. You used this sister's death come up. You were a bullshit, and you can only, use her name once. You still use it. Even till this day, you still have your Facebook page under Sandra Bland. Why? Let the sister rest in peace. Her family already came to you and asked you, was you using their daughter to raise money?
Sandra Bland. Everybody know that I had named my Facebook in regard to Sandra Bland. And this is not a shot at Sandra Bland's, mother or family, but this is a real fucking event happened to me, right? Maybe a year ago, I want to say. Maybe about a year ago, right? Sandra Bland's mother, and her family reached out to me. And they basically, my mother basically hit me up and asked me on Facebook, was I using her daughter's, name to make money off her name?
And you told them no, but that's a lie. That's a lie. Because you have the daycare right here that you try to. So there would be no pharaoh without the death of Sandra Bland. Do y'all follow me? He wouldn't even exist. starting to think that the powers that be had him use her name in order to go viral overnight so he could come and divide the community. As you can see, he's attacking them all. He was attacking Islam, Umar, Sinetta. It's always conflict and drama. They said, hey, as soon as you come out straight out of prison, your mission is to cause division. So he said, this is what you're going to do. Sandra Bland dies. You're going to use her name as clickbait. You understand? So they needed someone with charisma who kind of reminded the Tupac the way he moved his fingers. So they need somebody like Young Sudo to come in and cause chaos. And who does he attack? Who does he attack?
Hold on. Let me say this, you guys. You all see this logo right here with the SOS with the Africa, the continent of Africa in the middle. He stole that from an organization in Africa. And then had the nerve to have somebody selling it. It wasn't even his. But hold on. I'm going to skip ahead to where they talk about his brother. YK talks about shows his legal documents, and proving with more receipts that he lied about needing that money and about his court case and all that stuff. Sound familiar?
So you're going to lie and say that case was only published in 2017, right? So what we have here? What do we have here? This is the Supreme Court of the state of New York. Appellate Division, 4th Judicial Department. Decisions by county. That's it.
Now,
February 3rd, 2017. Moment of silence. Hold on. So you're going to lie and say that it was only published 2017 when it says right here that it was decided by the court February 3rd? Now let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. What do you see? Daniels Marshall Daniels.
That's his real name, Marshall Daniels. We found that out when they spoke to the prepaid legal office. When the guy, Mr. Kemp, spoke and said that there's no way they accepted money, the money that he raised over $10,000 that was supposed to be for the daycares that he claimed he was going to open, telling people to quit their jobs and come and work for him. But of course, he couldn't open them because he's a convicted felon. So with that all being said, he then came back and said, well, I had to use that money for my legal fees. But the prepaid legal said he had no legal fees because they were paid by the state.
Pete versus the people. Do you see it? Am I lying? Isn't that the same day he went to his Facebook to ask for donations? Wasn't it February 3rd, 2017?
Show the date. Show the motherfucking date.
So you say you want a time, right? Well, why did you have a court date Wednesday, November 30th, 2016 at 10 a.m.? Courtroom number 2. Let's scroll down and let's see who we can find. It says Peoples versus Marshall Daniels. Who was your lawyer? Robert L. Kemp. For who? Marshall Daniels. For how long? 10 minutes. You wanted a receipt, right? You wanted signatures, right? You wanted the time, right? So what can you tell the people now? See, this is why I didn't want to go back and forth with you. See, this is why you don't want to address what I'm saying. This is why you want me to come to your IG live. You wanted receipts, so you have it. Let's go and see where it came from. NewYorkCourts.gov. This is the day calendar. So he had a court date, November 30th, 2016 at 10
on Facebook exposing him. Now, with YK The Truth also, when YK was exposing him, he was going back and forth with him to a degree, but YK disputed and disproved everything that he in fact said. And then some of his minions were calling YK a hater, because that's what they do when they can't dispute or debunk what the person says. Pay attention. So with that all being said, I think that proves a lot and says a lot. But hold on. So with that all being said, there are some people who will absolutely usurp the movement, who will absolutely try to take and gain control of the movement, and then they'll use it just to make a whole bunch of money. That's what they absolutely will do. Okay, they will sit there and use that just to make a bunch of money. But hold on, let me show y'all somebody else. This is another person that was exposed. Let me pull this up. Now, I bet some of you didn't even know about this video. Hold on. So let's talk about it. Scam Master J. Okay, now let's watch this video. Some of y'all still don't think he was a whole agent, but he absolutely was. I'm convinced. All right. Pay attention to this.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. We decided long ago that the dangers of excessive and unwarranted concealment of pertinent facts far outweighed the dangers which are cited to justify it. Even today, there is little value in opposing the threat of a closed society by imitating its arbitrary restrictions. Even today, there is little value in ensuring the survival of our nation if our traditions do not survive with it.
I mean that all of us who make up the patchwork of America, irregardless of race, color, creed, religious background, persuasion, or sex.
I'll say what now? If that wasn't so fake and fraud, you mean to tell me y'all didn't know that that man was a whole agent the minute that we found out that he literally ran for president, and then we saw him sitting behind Trump, and then we saw him doing security at the Trump rally, and then we saw him sitting there with at the debate, and then we saw him sitting there with a whole radio in his hand like the rest of the Secret Service. I'm sorry, y'all didn't know that man was a whole agent, because here's the thing. How do you go from being a whole pro-black revolutionary militant to running for president, or vice versa? How do you go from running for president to becoming a whole pro-black military revolutionary? Make it make sense. That's agent activity. That's what that is. All right, that's what that is. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be a black person who wants to be, in politics so that you can try to affect change, like someone like Marcel Dixon, because Marcel Dixon clearly was trying to help black folk and trying to go on the basis of reparations, hoping that we would get them. But here's the thing. The difference between Marcel Dixon and someone like Grand Scam Master J is the fact that Marcel was a regular everyday person running for public office. He wasn't out here on YouTube acting like he's so hardcore, gangster, revolutionary, pro-black, and all that. And then all of a sudden wants to run for politics. Pay attention. That's agent behavior. And I think I proved my point with Scam Master J, because exactly what I said he was going to do is what he did. Fade from public view, and they'll say that he was arrested. But meanwhile, he didn't get arrested when he made all those threats about kidnapping mayors and their children and putting them in trunks. And when he talked about killing black folk if he found out they infiltrated. He didn't get arrested for speaking about sedition when he was publicly on recorded at the Breonna Taylor All Eyes on Bree rally, okay, in Louisville, Kentucky. All right. So with that all being said, yes, that's agent behavior. Absolutely. Okay. So these people who do these type of things, what they're trying to do is they're not only trying to usurp the movement, but they're trying to be in charge of the movement, though they won't say they're in charge. They'll act as though they don't want to be in charge, but they're trying to be in charge and doing everything that someone in charge does. That's what Scam Master Jay was so good at doing, you see. Another thing is, when someone operates like that, they're trying to get on a national scale. They're trying to become like an Al Sharpton. I saw someone put in the chat, did someone say Al Sharpton? Absolutely. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do what Al Sharpton did. You see, back in the day, if you remember, if you go look at old footage, Al Sharpton was acting so hard as if he was trying to really help black folk, and many black folk thought that he actually was. But now, as we can see, come to find out years later, he was a whole FBI informant. Admitted this himself. He admitted this himself. Now, he could say that he was informing them against the mob and all of that, but at the end of the day, how can you trust someone who's a whole informant, no matter who they claim they were informing on? And that's a money grab, because what they do, yes, Deronda says they try to line their pockets. Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Going national, right? And then someone said Al Sharp tongue. Absolutely. They try to go national, so that's more money in their pocket. And so they really, from there, can be controlled opposition. They're not really trying to help us. They're not really trying to help us get reparations, another thing that Grandmaster Jay talked about. They're not really trying to get the police to stop killing us, another thing that Grandmaster Jay talked about. They're not trying to do any of that. And you should ask yourselves, how come Grandmaster Jay's channel was never terminated while he was on YouTube? How come his channel was never banned? How come he never experienced interference with his channel like I do? Other people like him, you should ask yourselves the same about them. But anyway, I'm done with that conversation. I think I've proven my point. But now let's get into this about how some black women endanger the lives of black men. So you see, I was watching the whole viral, body cam video of that woman from Atlanta. I was watching the whole video and I got so upset because I showed you all a clip of the body cam footage the other day when I spoke about it, but I actually watched the entire video last night and I was livid. Let me show you why. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance.
Powerful WordPress website with Bluehost Website Builder. Get smart AIs.
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Hello.
All right. Well, I see the Ohio tab. I'm not sure if y'all from here or not, but you can't be inside the park in the city of Atlanta between the hours 11 p.m. and 6 a.m.
Okay.
You got your IDs on you?
Mm-hmm.
You have your IDs on you?
Yes.
I'm gonna need them. You have your ID now? It's this one here. This one here, yes, sir. All right, that's your license. Copy of citation. Do you have any questions? That's what it is. All right. Come over here for me, ma'am. Can you come here, ma'am? All right, so you're going to receive a ticket for being in the park after hours. All right? Just need to sign right here on the X.
But because we're out of, didn't you say we were out of time so we wouldn't have known that?
Yeah, but that's not a valid reason why. You should be in the park because you're from out of town.
And what's your badge number?
7452.
And what's your name?
Officer Brooks.
What's your first name?
I'm not going to give you my first name.
Okay. And I don't have to sign this, right?
You do have to sign it.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, like I explained to him, if you don't sign it, then you're going to be physically taken to jail.
Gotcha.
So you refusing to sign?
What's your name?
Officer Brooks, 7452.
What's the badge number?
I gave it to you 2 times, man.
Okay, I'm asking again.
And I'm not giving it to you.
Okay.
Are you going to sign it?
No, because I want your badge number.
That's fine. You want to put your hands behind your back for me?
No, she got.
Hey, listen, my man. She says she's not signing it. Put your hands behind your back.
Sir,
Ma'am.
you're hurting me.
Okay. I'm asking you to put your hands behind your back.
Sir.
Put your hands behind your back. 12, start me there, man.
Sir.
Ma'am, put your hand behind your back.
Can you?
Come on.
I need you to back up.
I'm just saying, like,
I need you to back up.
You don't need to touch her like that.
She's not putting her hands behind her back.
I'm asking a question.
Okay.
I'm just all I'm doing is
Put your
asking.
hands behind your back. Put your hands behind
Mr.
your.
Brooks.
You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back. I asked you to sign the ticket. You told me you're not signing it.
Sir,
Put your hands
I'm
behind your back.
asking you a question.
Okay? I'm letting you know. I'm not going to ask you again. I'm going to forcibly put your hands behind your back.
But, sir, Mr. Brooks, is this really necessary? Mr. Brooks.
Hold on.
Hey, listen, my man.
She needs
Back up.
to put her. Let her
Can I?
put her phone.
Okay, you can put your phone down.
Okay,
Let her
Mr.
Put,
Brooks.
give her a chance to,
Oh
come
my
on, sir.
God.
Hold on.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm not saying that I'm refusing to sign the ticket. I'm going to sign the ticket.
You don't have an option now.
Because but I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I'm going to sign the ticket. I'm going to sign the ticket.
No, I'm not here to play games with you.
I know, but I'm going to sign.
Put your hands behind your back.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to sign
Put your hands behind your back.
Why am I
You're actively resisting.
I'm asking you, why am I putting my hands behind my back?
You're under arrest.
I'm going to sign the ticket, but why am I under arrest? Why am I under arrest? I'm going to sign the ticket. I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks.
That's all it is.
I'm going to sign the ticket.
I asked you to sign the ticket. You told me you're not signing
I'm
it.
going to sign the ticket now. Mr. Brooks, I'm going
You
to
don't
sign
have
the
that
ticket.
option now.
Why don't I have the option,
Because I
Mr.
gave you
Brooks?
2 options.
She was asking for your badge number.
I'm asking for your badge number, and I wasn't clear on why you weren't giving me your badge number.
Sir, you do not have to hold her like that.
Oh my God, sir, Mr. Brooks, I'm telling you that I'm going to sign the
Put
ticket.
your hands behind your back.
I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I'm going to sign the ticket. Why am I being arrested? Can you please tell me why I'm being arrested? Oh my God! I'm so scared. My God, please, in the name of Jesus, please, God, in the name. Why am I being arrested, Mr. Brooks? I'm going to sign the ticket. Mr. Brooks, why am I being arrested? Why am I being arrested? I don't understand why I'm being arrested. Can you please tell me why I'm being arrested?
Turn around and put your hands behind your
Tell
back.
me why I'm being arrested. I have the right. I have the right to know. Oh my God.
Put your hands behind your back.
Oh my
And stop
God.
resisting. Stop resisting.
What are you taking her for?
I didn't tase it.
Why are you pulling it out?
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, sir. This is unnecessary. What are you doing? This is over. This over.
Oh my God. Why am I being arrested?
Just put your hands behind your back.
I don't understand why I'm being arrested. That's why I'm not putting my hands behind my back. You have not given me a reason.
You're physically
so why am I
resisting.
getting? I'm not. You didn't haven't told me my rights or told me why I'm being arrested. That's exactly why I'm not putting my hands behind my back. God, please. Oh my God!
Yeah, give me your hands. I need you to back up, sir. You got every right in the court, but you need to back up.
Oh my God! I don't understand why I'm not being arrested. I don't understand. Please, sir, you have not told me why I'm being arrested, and that's why I have not put my hands behind my back. You have not told me, or you have not read me my rights or anything, and you're steady doing this to me. I don't understand. Can you please just tell me why I'm being arrested? That's all I'm asking.
I just told you.
Why? Why
You
am I
refused to sign the
I
ticket.
did not. I told you I was going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I told you I was going to sign the ticket. Can I please sign the ticket?
Put your hands behind your back.
I don't understand.
Put your hands behind your back,
I'm
man.
telling you, I'm going to sign the ticket, Mr. Brooks. I I will sign the ticket, please.
Ma'am, put your hands behind your back.
Why are you? I don't understand.
Put your hands behind your
How
back.
you handling me?
Put your hands behind your back.
Please, God, please.
Put your hands behind your back.
You're hurting me. You are hurting me.
Okay, put your hands behind your back.
I told you I'm not putting my hand. You have not told me or read me my rights. You have not done any of that. You're not telling me why I'm going to jail. Please, God.
Put your hands behind your back.
Please, God. Please. Mr. Brooks, tell me why I'm being arrested. Ow! You're hurting me. You are hurting me.
Stop resisting. Come
I'm
on.
trying to tell you, but what? Ouch! You are, Mr. Brooks, you are hurting my arm.
Come on, man.
Oh my God! Is this real? Please, God, in the name of Jesus, please, God, I'm not being arrested.
Y'all are hurting me. Sit resistant, bro. Now move.
Oh my God!
Code 4063.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
That was unnecessary.
Sophie?
Now, let me tell you all something. Let me say this. At the end of the day, here's the thing. She was out of pocket like a pistol at a robbery. Okay, as Gilly the Kid would say. Because here's the reason why. When she saw that her gentleman friend signed the ticket, she should have just followed suit with him and signed the ticket. She could have gotten that black man hurt or arrested or killed. The reason why women like her are dangerous is because what she did was she made a mountain out of a molehill. Now, all she had to do was sign the ticket. The cop told her and him that if you do not sign the ticket, you can go to jail. So the man signed the ticket. When the cop told her that, she refused to sign it. Now, here's the thing. I told you all this the other day because I offer you solutions. I explained to you the other day that if you don't want to sign the ticket, now, really, the cops are not supposed to arrest you for that. But some of them will, because they leave things up to their own discretion. So, with that all being said, what they do, hold on. Let me show you all somebody in the chat. Hold on. Somebody said, pay attention. I want y'all to see this. This person, care de goer, doer, or us, whoever that is, says all you do is gossip. Okay, well, that's fine. If all I do is gossip, why are you on my channel? Moderators, block him or her, whoever it is. Matter of fact, I'll do it. All right. All I do is gossip. You see, let me tell y'all something. That's either one of my haters or one of their minions. And that's just what it is. I do a whole lot more than gossip. But let me continue. So with that all being said, here's the thing. Now, she put him in danger because, of course, as being her man or male friend with her, he wants to protect her. He kept saying, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to touch her like that. You don't have to handle her like that. So easily, it could have been the type of black man who would actually try to put hands on the officer or try to stop the officer from attacking her or whatever, and they could have gotten killed. That's how she put him in danger. Okay, she clearly put him in danger. And I do believe that if that had not been a black officer, he might have gotten injured. Because remember, he was standing close to the officer, and the officer said, I'm gonna need you to stand back. Okay, and so she could have gotten both of them arrested or even more brutalized. The thing is this, also, she's a whole fake and a fraud. And how do you know she's a whole fake and a fraud? I'm glad you asked. Because the part they don't show on this clip is that when they actually put her in the police car, the first thing she did was ask for her phone. And she did so calmly. She wasn't screaming and crying then. This was right after they put her in the car. You were just laying on the ground, kicking and screaming and yelling to the top of your lungs, calling on Jesus and all that. But then when they put you in the car, calmly she says, can you give me my phone? She's a whole black Karen. That's what she is. She thought that acting like Karen was going to help her, but your tears don't work, beloved. That only works for Karens. And so, with that all being said, another thing is this. Yes, it could have become deadly, says Eagle Wisdom. Absolutely, it could have. And so let me give you all an example of something that happened to me in a situation, not with the police, but a situation where I absolutely could have, if I behaved like she did, or, just foolishly, I could have gotten someone injured. So me and my son, I took my son for his birthday to a comedy event. I think it was Kevin Hart, Cat Williams, I don't recall. This was a few years ago. So there was a guy sitting behind us who was clearly ratchet, clearly straight up from the hood, okay? And he was talking loud before the show started. Now, my son had gone to get something to eat from the concession stand or whatever. I'm sitting there. This guy's literally sitting behind me, and he's right over my head, talking loud, shouting at someone that he saw walking past, and just, cursing and being real niggering, as I call it, right? So with that all being said, well, there was a lady sitting beside me, and she was annoyed by him, and as was I. But I didn't say anything because I knew that if I say something to him that's confrontational, even if I just ask him to chill out and be quiet, he was such a hood rat, I knew that would start an altercation. And then when my son comes back from getting his concessions, if he sees me going at it with this dude, of course, my son's gonna defend me. So I didn't say anything, but the lady next to me did. She turned around and she went in on him. And he asked her who the F did she think she was talking to? And then he went in on her some more. She went in on him. Now, the guy that was sitting with her, I don't know if he was her man or just a date or whatever, but that guy looked straight ahead. He didn't even turn around to see what the guy was, saying or any of that. He didn't even acknowledge it. He looked straight ahead. And it was pretty smart for him to do that. Now, some of you might say he's a coward, but I'm going to tell you like this. If he wasn't her husband, I'm sorry, or hadn't been in a years-long relationship with her, and he was just out on a date with her, that's what he should have done, kept looking ahead, because she started that problem. Now, she could have gotten both of them hurt. We don't know if that guy had a gun. We don't know if he was going to just act crazy or whatever. At the end of the day, she was escalating the situation. She just should have let him shut up. At the end of the day, you can't make anyone do something they don't want to do. And sometimes you put someone else in jeopardy. And that's what she did. That's the same thing this woman did. She's going in on the police and caused all of that. And then she kept saying, I don't understand why you're arresting me. Well, yes, she did understand why he was arresting her, because he told them, if you don't sign the ticket, you're going to be arrested. And she said, gotcha. So by the fact that she said gotcha, that lets us know that she absolutely knew and understood that she'd be arrested for not signing the ticket. Now, though that would have been in violation of her rights if he had arrested her for that, the thing is this: you cannot fight a battle and win on the side of a road in a dark park with a police officer. The law is on their side. So you have to understand and have common sense and logical thinking skills to know what to do and how to choose your battles carefully. She could easily have just signed the ticket, taken it to court, and said, look, Your Honor, we were from out of town. We didn't even see a sign posted to let us know that we weren't supposed to be in the park. And then the case could have gotten dismissed. And yes, Lex Play said, plus the black cop was respectful. Yes, he was in the beginning. He absolutely was. So she escalated that situation. She not only put herself in danger, she put the gentleman that was with her in danger. And I hope that he's done with her, because that's not going to be the last time she does that. Okay, that's not going to be the last time she does that. She should have had enough respect for the man she was with to not carry on like that and escalate a situation that he was already trying to keep calm by signing the ticket. If he didn't put up a fuss, neither should she. Sometimes as women, we have to follow the lead of the man. That's what we have to do sometimes. So with that all being said, she was doing too much. Now, I don't agree with how the officer handled her, but I will say this: she could have taken the easier route and just dealt with this citation in court. That's all she had to do. And like I also told you all days ago when I first reported it, she could have simply signed it and put under duress which would let the judge know once she goes to court that she didn't sign it of her own free will, that she was coerced, that the officer twisted her arm. She could have signed it, put UCC 1-308, saying that she really didn't want to sign it, but she felt compelled to, and that she was reserving her rights, and that she didn't agree. That's what she also could have done. You see, I offer solutions. Some people get on here and they talk about all these problems that we have in our community, but they offer absolutely no solutions. Let me tell you some more solutions I've offered to you, beloveds. So I told you all on November, or actually Thanksgiving Day of 2020, I told you about the impending famine and all of the things that were going to happen, right? And I told you how to prepare yourselves for that. I gave you numerous lifelines, and I continue to give you lifelines. That is solutions. Those lifelines are solutions. I also was the first one to tell you all that if you want to stop the police from killing unarmed Black people, then start putting liens on their insurance so they can't continue to work, and start suing them, not only the state, start suing them, the police specifically, for their pensions. And as we can see, after I said that, that's what Benjamin Crump did with the case of George Floyd's family against Derek Chauvin. Sued them for his pension, which was worth $1.5 million. I said that a year before that actually happened. So another solution I have offered you all is to tell you to stop spending our money with these name brand companies who clearly are against us. You see, if we continue to pour into them without pouring into ourselves and supporting Black-owned businesses, they'll continue to be able to oppress us and be financially stable for generations, while we will not. You're not going to be financially stable buying a whole bunch of fancy name brand clothes. You can't pass that down to the next generation. Okay? Stacy says, you sure did, Queen. Thank you, beloved. So with that all being said, I also told you all what to do at a traffic stop if the officer tells you to get out of the car. And they may want to search your car without your consent. And they may not even have probable cause. So I told you, you can drop your keys on the floor, hit the locks, drop your keys on the floor, and step out. That way, if they do search your car without your consent, it'll be obvious that it was without your consent, because they'll have to smash out your windows, which they sometimes may not want to do. The only time they usually smash out the windows is if you're still in the car and refuse to get out and you roll up the windows. Then they'll smash it because they want you up out of there. Okay, they want to exert their authority. But if you just get out, hit the lock, and drop your keys on the floor, are they really going to go through all of that? More likely than not, they won't. And even if they do, when you go to court, you can say that you did not give them consent to search your car, and you can show the damages to your windshield and all of that. So these are the things that I'm talking about, because you see, some people don't offer solutions. They do what I call Saturday Night Live comic relief activism, because all they do is make jokes out of most things. And then when someone starts exposing people who are really being fraudulent and scammers, they'll try to throw subliminals at that person when they continue to go in on people themselves. You see, one thing about it is this: I don't have beef with anyone on ScrewTube. I don't have beef with anyone. Some of you may think that I have beef with Wig. Well, that's not really a beef, because exposing someone for doing nefarious things that I have absolute receipts for, and I'm not talking about just past things that were done, I'm talking about present. And I've actually brought people that were this person's subscribers. I've actually brought them on, and they've told you their stories of how they were deceived and conned and how they feel scammed. So there's the receipts right there from the horse's mouth. But there's some people who will engage in all types of childish, foolish behavior, doing parodies, Muppet shows, making all types of websites to sell foolish things named after people on ScrewTube and all of that. And they continue to do these things for years. They don't let it go. But some of y'all want to talk about the queen because I'm exposing people. Honey, I've been exposing people ever since I came on YouTube. In fact, I've been exposing people before I came to YouTube on Facebook. Check my record, okay? So with that all being said, I'm not going to stop exposing people just because some of y'all like some of the people that I'm exposing. All right, that's what I'm not going to do. All right. So with that all being said, don't worry about me exposing the truth. Worry about those who are deceiving you, who are making their living. They don't even have to work a 9 to 5, a regular job, or any of that, because they live off of you and your funding. Black Lives Matter. I think we proved that. Collected over $90 million in 2020 alone. They never said anything about what they did with all those donations until I exposed them February the 22nd of 2021. And then here it was 3 or 4 days later, then they come out and start explaining where that money's been going and even admit to what I said, that they have funded political campaigns. Okay? And then all of a sudden now they wanted to contribute to charities. But then pay attention. Months later, I also exposed Patrice Concolors, right? And how she's, buying up these $1 million real estate investments and all that. And I also talked about Tamika Mallory getting a whole endorsement deal from Cadillac. I'm sorry, you're an activist. I'm not saying you should be broke. I'm not saying that people shouldn't support you. But when people are giving you donations to fight the good fight, to go out there and participate actively in the movement and to help the victims of the families of the victims, and you're not doing that. Instead, you're going out here clout chasing, getting endorsements. You're trying to make a national name for yourself on a bigger stage so you can be a whole nother Al Sharpton. I'm going to call you out. And I don't care who doesn't like it. Okay, I don't care who doesn't like it. And as we can see, that person who was in the chat, the troll who was saying that all I do is gossip, I don't really care what people like that say, because anyone with common sense knows that the queen does a whole lot more than gossip. In fact, I don't gossip. I speak truth to power. And just because the truth that I'm speaking intimidates some, exposes others, that doesn't make it gossip. You see, gossip is unfounded things that you say about someone that's not even true. Things that are just rumors. When you have receipts, and you can prove what you're saying, and it can't be debunked nor disputed with other receipts, that's not gossip. That's called evidence. You can take it to court. Okay? In court, there's something called hearsay. Well, hearsay isn't admissible in a court of law. And that's for a good reason, because anyone can say anything. It may sound believable, but unless they can prove it, it's just hearsay. So when people tell you that those receipts that I showed were false, that's just hearsay, because they've never shown any other receipts to disprove what I said. And last but not least, let me pull up this before I roll out of here to prove my point. This is the last receipt I'm going to show. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance. Now, you all remember this video, which I'm about to show. This is what happens to people like the Queen, who expose the truth about the frauds. Let's get into it. For the simple fact that this will be on the record, so that anything does happen to me, God forbid, that I've already made, mention of this. Okay? I'm just saying, because this is also crazy. Expose the call for your protection, says Claudette. You know what? That might be a good idea. But I want to say before I play it, there's a lot of cursing, and you all please forgive me, because like I said, I really got out of character because I was being threatened. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. I'm sorry, can you say that again? Who do you think you're talking to? Who is this, and how did you get my phone number?
Don't worry about that. You've been blowing people. Keep Biggie's name out your damn mouth. Stop coming up with these big ass receipts and shit on her and all of this shit. You blowing it up the side progress. Why don't you just stop it while you ain't?
First of all, the receipts aren't fake, and
at the end of the day, I don't give a damn about you calling me trying to make me a little idle threats. I'm not scared of you. And I'm going to keep on going in on Wig. So I don't know what you think you're going to do about it, but I tell you what, anybody that run up on me, baby, I already got something for that. So you can keep those. At the end of the day, don't call my damn phone no fucking more. Period. Yes, Queen Amadaya. Who the fuck is this? How come you can't say who you are? How come you can't say who you are? Don't call my damn phone no more.
All right, so y'all remember that. Y'all remember that, and I want y'all to pay attention. So, do haters get threats? I'm sorry. Do people who gossip, all they do is gossip, do they get threats? Okay, I'm doing a whole lot more than gossiping. You know, like I said, these people that don't want to get exposed, and these people who are mad because I've exposed people in their circle, they're afraid that I can expose them too, because they know that I'm good at getting those receipts. So they don't want to be exposed, and they don't want you listening to me because I expose people. And at the end of the day, that's why they'll throw subliminals and try to act like I'm not putting in work. Oh, I'm putting in work. That's exactly what I'm doing. Now, while they want to sit here and make comic relief, crack jokes and all that, I'm sorry. What are they doing really? Ask yourselves that. Are they merely mooching off of us, collecting all these donations and all that and showing nothing? I'm just curious. Pay attention to those type of folk. That's what you need to be paying attention to at the end of the day. All right? At the end of the day. So the emphasis says, send it my way, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay. Pauline says, we see the receipts. Thank you, beloved. So that's all I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say. I want y'all to pay attention because, like I said, I've been exposing people. I've been exposing people. And at the end of the day, I'm going to keep exposing them. Period. And here's the thing. Let me say this before I go. As far as Queen of the Wig Snatchers, okay? Mr. Hotel said, we will protect you, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Let me tell y'all something. That's why I separated myself from the new black media. Because I'm not saying all of the new black media is scammers. Absolutely not. Some of them are absolutely B1. Okay? Black Authority, Professor Black Truth. You understand what I'm saying? Some of them are absolutely B1 and they're actually doing work. But some of them are fake and fraud. And that's just what it is. Now, I don't care who gets angry, mad, upset, been out of shape when I call these people out, because that's what I'm going to keep doing. Okay? That's what I'm just going to keep doing. At the end of the day, the only thing they can ever come back and say about me is, oh, she's a hater. She's gossiping. Where's your receipts and proof? I mean, we don't even care about them saying I'm gossiping because we already know, just look at my commentary. We know that's all BS. But also, when they say I'm a hater, they can never name what I'm hating about, what I'm hating for. They can't do that. That's just a filler argument. It's a straw argument because they don't want to accept the truth because they're mad at what I'm doing. And I'm going to always continue to do what I've done because I'm a real revolutionary, unlike some who can't carry that title honestly. That's what they can't do. They can sit there and crack jokes. Okay, they can sell things, you know, and then talk trash about other people selling things. That's what they can do. They can sit there and, you know, get mad because people are going in on somebody that they're cool with, but they go in on people all the time themselves and even act so childish and immature in doing so. They can do all of that. I'm going to continue to do what I do because I don't care what they think. That's the good news. I'm undeterred, period. And let me say this in closing. This whole thing with the wig, how I exposed Wig to the smallest fraction of a particle that anyone could with receipts, past and present fraudulent activities. You know, here's the thing. I could have stopped talking about Wig a long time ago. The reason I continue to post things about Wig is because Wig is, like I said, a person who throws a rock and hides their hand. Wig continues to repost comments that some of her minions say about me hating on her. The funny thing is this, that's all they can say. So since Wig wants to continue posting things like that, reposting it, that's all fine. I can continue to repost things that other people, my subscribers, and even her ex-subscribers say about her. That's absolutely all true. And they're not calling her a hater. They're calling her what she actually is. Well, some of them are calling her a hater, but that's not even important whether or not she's a hater. What's important is that they're calling her out for giving no atonement, for lying, for committing fraud and scam, for acting like a whole Peter Popoff. Okay, sitting there talking about you can raise the dead on that webinar that I played for you all. Said she could raise the dead and said she'd met the Most High. If you could raise the dead, how come you can't heal yourself? If you could raise the dead, how come you haven't gone to hospitals and raised them? How come you haven't gone into hospitals and healed the sick when miracles, signs, and wonders follow their work? And they say they can raise the dead. Y'all heard it. I played the footage. I wouldn't even have believed that they said that, something so foolish, if I hadn't heard it with my own ears. So if you're saying you can raise the dead, we should all ask ourselves, how come this person who raises the dead, whose signs and wonders follow their work, how come they're not going to the hospitals where the children have cancer? How come they're not going to St. Jude and healing those poor little sick children who are dying of cancer, who are struggling to live and fighting for a breath every day? How come they're not going to help their parents when those children pass away and raise them from the dead? How come they don't go out there when black men are killed unarmed in the street by the police? How come they don't go out there and raise them from the dead? I'm sorry, you met the Most High. You can raise the dead. But some of y'all believe these lies, these frauds, these charlatans, these false prophets, and you believe the people who condone and co-sign them. That's what some of y'all do. So with that all being said, I'll continue to be the queen of receipts and continue to drop those receipts, no matter who has a problem with it. The threats don't scare me. You see, I am willing to die for my people. Some of y'all can't say that. And the main ones who can't say that are the only ones who are the ones who only want money from black people. They don't care anything about black people. They'll talk a few good pointers. They'll say good things sometimes. But at the end of the day, so did Al Sharpton once upon a time. So did Jesse Jackson once upon a time. So did Grandmaster Jay and Young Pharaoh once upon a time. So did Brother Polite once upon a time. So did Black Lives Matter once upon a time. You hear where this is going? Bunch of fakes and frauds. Pay attention. With that all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, and never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your
Ahmadiyah.
skin?
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, giving to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us. I'm going to call you back, Queen.
Okay, go ahead, beloved. Go ahead. All right. Bye-bye.